What's going on, peep? Nope, not today. Not today. I'm going to tell you what's going on. McFly KOF, do you know that man? Maybe you do. Maybe you have an idea of what I'm about to say because you might know what kind of person he is. So here's the thing, right? I'm just sitting around minding my own business. That's just what I do. And he strolls in out of nowhere, basically, like, hey, you need to buy these shoes. And I'm like, I don't know that I do because. And he's like, no, no, no. You're not hearing me or you don't understand, so I'll repeat it. You need to buy these shoes. And I'm like, but I need to get some groceries because, I mean, I could eat peanut butter and jelly more, I guess. But he's like, whatever, make it happen. And I'm like, well, if, okay, I mean, I could do this. But next thing you know, by the end of the conversation, he kind of makes you start thinking that maybe it was your idea. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, I'm just sitting back again, going through emails or something, when I see this tracking number come in, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, got me again. Freaking McFly. Am I exaggerating here? Yeah, totally. Totally exaggerating. But let it be known that he did coerce me into buying these shoes. Am I using that word correctly? I'm not sure. I hope so, but I don't know honestly. So anyways, that aside, let's go ahead and get on into this box because I'll be honest with you, I don't remember a whole lot about that day. So me opening this box is going to be a refresher of what's in it. I have an idea, but we're going to find out together what it really is. Do I need these scissors? It looks like I don't. There's these little tear stuff on here. So maybe we'll be okay. What do you know? Got these scissors out for nothing. Okay. So here's a little thing saying thank you for shopping at Sneakers and Stuff because that's where I bought these shoes. The ones that McFly forced me to buy, basically. Yeah, these. And there's the top of the box. There you have the whole 4D thing. And then there you go with the side of the box for you. This is done. We're going to move him over there. So, what is this? 4D Run 1.0? Okay, it's kind of coming back to me. I mean, not really, but let's go ahead and see what's in here. Yeah, this is... I honestly do not quite remember this. Like, I mean, I like the shoe, you know what I'm saying? Like, the look of it. But, I don't know. Because they were having a sale over there a while ago. Maybe it's still going on. I don't know. But things were super cheap. You know what I mean? These were... What did these set me back? Like 120-ish? Something like that? Not a whole lot, you know? But given the standard pricing of these, whatever that was, probably like the 300, 250 range, it wasn't a bad deal. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and look over these real quick, make sure everything is looking like they're supposed to look, and then we'll do the whole review thing and all that good stuff, and we can all part ways. Some of us have lives to do later tonight. So, yeah, things are looking fine. So, you know what that means? Yeah, you do. It is now review time on this right here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Adidas 4D Run in whatever colorway this is. We're just going to go and call it blue and pink because there's some pink on the back. And it doesn't say on the box because Adidas doesn't believe in saying that stuff on the box. Whatever, it is what it is. Let's just go ahead and start with the bottom, shall we? So down there, what you're going to be seeing is basically a lot of a reddish, pinkish kind of color, right? A little more on the red side than the pink side, but it's pretty much just there all throughout the outsole. Moving on up here to the midsole, though, what you're going to see is pretty much that standard 4D lime green color that they put on mostly every 4D shoe, until recent times anyway. I'm not a huge fan of it necessarily. It's not a bad color, it's just that it doesn't work on everything, yet they used it on everything. You see where the problem is in that? Maybe you do. Anyways, it's a 4D midsole in the standard 4D color from a year or two ago or whenever they started making the 4D shoes. Now, moving on up to the upper here, this is where things are probably and hopefully going to be a little bit different, right? Because this is a run tuned type shoe, right? So it's not going to be like those ZX4000s that I did a review on a while ago that I thought might be decent for running, and then I ran a little bit in them. I was like, I'm not doing this. So let's go ahead and look at it up close and see what we see, shall we? So we're gonna zoom in here on this upper, right? So there, you've got kind of a sort of a thick mesh feeling shoe with like, I'm not quite sure how exactly to describe it because it's not like the prime knit style that I would usually expect on running shoes from Adidas. It feels more like an a Vapor Max 2019 where they have that weird material over them. It really reminds me a lot of that. But anyway, so you've got the blue and a lighter blue, kind of a grayish blue almost. And then down here around the toe, what you have is that might be reflective, is just this little plastic sort of overlay. And then moving to the back of the shoe, or towards the back, I should say, more so around the middle, you have the 3 stripes for the Adidas logo, which look like they might be reflective. At the very least, they do reflect light in a pretty cool way to give you this little holographic style effect almost. So I kind of like that. It's got a little bit of a bluish green going on in there, slight silvers if you catch the right angle. And that kind of matches up in a way with what you see slightly above it with the lace hole area. So that whole thing just has a pretty cool look to me. Maybe that's why I bought these. We'll see. But anyways, moving towards the back, rounding off the back side here, you do have this hot pink color, kind of colored neon sort of thing going on as far as like right there above the heel. What's going on with that, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to assume that it's there as part of the whole running design, right? And then down under that, you have the same style plasticky overlay with a slight reflective that you saw on a lot of the rest of the shoe, right? So nothing too crazy. But I do think that the upper looks pretty decent as far as the colors that they picked. So I do like this blue and this grayish blue or whatever that other color is. It seems to work pretty well to me. Right, and then just looking at the very back of the shoe, there's not a whole lot going on back there. It's pretty much the same as the front, just on the back. So let's switch back around to the front here, final things out with the laces. So right there, what you're seeing is some very vibrant laces, which are a huge plus to me. Kind of like an orangish color, almost like that solar red sort of color maybe. If you remember that review that I did not too long ago, it kind of reminds me of those, though it's slightly more orange than red. It's just very bright, I'm saying that. And then going down here behind that, the laces, there's nothing special about them. They're your standard flat Adidas laces. Behind that, on the tongue, you've got the same material, which to the touch, you can kind of feel where it is a little raised up on the squared off dark blue pieces, royal blue maybe. And then on the tongue there, you've got the standard logo for the Adidas thing, which might be reflective. I'll figure that out later and I'll get you a picture if it is. But other than that, it seems to be pretty standard. And this tongue is not one of the styles that's actually like stitched down, not stitched down, but has that elastic thing. Sometimes there's that elastic piece that holds the tongue down, kind of gives your foot that little extra bit of security. These don't have that. In case you're curious, it's not here. I kind of like it though, you know, I kind of like when they do that. It makes me feel a little more comfortable. Anyways, the tongue is feeling fine. And then looking onto the inside, which I'll have to give you some pictures, they're looking very thin. You can see a lot of light pouring through from the outside, so that's a huge plus because with running shoes, you do want a bit of breathability and you want that lightweightness. So it kind of balances out with how these actually feel because this lower area here can be a little bottom heavy. That was one of my concerns or problems or complaints, whatever you want to call it, with those 4000s I did the review on a while ago. Also, the upper was a little weird. But anyways, moving to the back though. So around the sock liner here, you've got this nylon feeling thing, which is also on the outside as well. I like that. It gives it a nice little sheen kind of thing going on. So that gets a thumbs up in my book. And then on the inside, you have the insole because that's where it would always be, right? And that just says 4D on there. And that's pretty much it. So there we go. We have pretty much done this whole upper of the shoe. I don't see anything that I forgot to mention except for these words on the laces that say carbon on the tips, and it says that on both of them, yeah. So on the tips, you saw the letters probably while I was flipping these things around, it says carbon. And so now we're done with that. I can give you my quick thoughts as the overall outside of the shoe. I like it. It looks like it's gonna be kind of cool, you know what I mean? Like just walking around in these, I like the actual reflective style thing that they have going on, even if it's not 3M. just has a cool look to it. So that's usually enough for me. Hopefully they're comfortable. We're about to find out because I've never worn a pair of these. So you let me go do that. Hang out here for a second. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so got these tried on, walked around a little bit, did a little comparison, and right off the top, these are feeling very nice, significant improvement. But let's go ahead and get into some detail so you have something to actually walk away from this review with. So sizing wise, right? I went with the 9.5. That's my standard size for Adidas and all the things that Adidas makes. And these fit like I would expect them to. I will say that they do feel a little more snug in some ways, but it's snug in a running sense, right? Because you want a little bit more security in your feet or whatever when you're wearing these kinds of things. So it's not, I'm not saying it's too small. I'm not going to say you should go up or anything like that. It's just that running shoes, to me, tend to be a little more snug, at least the better ones, the ones that I generally like. And these kind of fall in line with that. Now, if you're just looking to wear these just casually, you may want to consider going up half, but at the way these are priced right about now, you can probably get by with maybe just buying both pair and just sending back the one that doesn't fit right, because I've seen a lot of these lately going for under 100 if that sale is still going on. Anyways, moving on to the comfort and all that stuff. Walking around in these, again, I'm comparing to the ZX4000 4Ds, so much better. The upper feels just better on your foot. The weight overall is significantly lighter, and something about the way that the midsole is made just felt more comfortable as well. I'm not sure what exactly the difference is other than what I'll show you later, but just know that this felt overall a better shoe, and that's what you want when you buy something new, right? You want it to be better than the previous thing. So this is, and therefore I'm cool with that. So let's go ahead and wrap this whole part of the thing up, and I'll get you this little comparison so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, right? Because I think I've covered everything about the comfort of the shoe, right? Basically, it's a thumbs up for me if that's what you're looking for. So here's the 4D that I had a while ago, the ZX4000 4D. And you can tell there is a bit of a difference as far as like the thickness in the midsole, right, all around pretty much. And this one has a lot of extra layers going on, which adds to the weight, because these aren't lightweight things, right? You got all the suede and stuff. This one, it's just what you need, which is a plus for me. So just showing you guys that. I don't know if this is why, like the extra thickness in here, I don't know if that's why these feel so clunky when you're walking around in them, but that's at least my opinion. Yours may vary if you happen to find out, or if you happen to try out both of these. If you do, let me know, because I would like to have some other opinions to go by, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, otherwise, this shoe, it's fine for what it is. It's just that it doesn't feel better than these. The one advantage I will say about these though, if it matters to you, is that because the materials are different, this is, like I said, it's gonna kind of lock your foot in a little bit better. This is just kind of your normal casual type wear. So your feet are gonna, or your toes I should say, are gonna have a little bit more stretchability in there, right? It's more of a knitted material than this. So if that's a plus for you, you might wanna side with these, which are probably still also cheap, but we'll get into that at some other point, or we won't. Depends on if I do an actual review of these, running wise. But for now, what I'm going to leave you with is that my opinion is these are significantly better, and the tuning that they did for the running version of this work out in my favor. But that's just me. I also just happen to like running shoes as far as what I wear. So there you go, right? Try to separate my personal opinion from telling you, like trying to sway you one way or the other. I just want you to have the information at the end of the day, right? That's all I'm really shooting for here. What you do with it is up to you. So for now, take that, rattle it around on in your head or whatever, do whatever makes sense to you. Assuming that sale is still going on, maybe you can buy yourself a pair. For now, I'm gonna get out of here because like I said, I got a live to do in a little bit. Well, actually, I got a few hours. But I'm gonna shoot the on foot and maybe get the pictures for this so I can edit it tomorrow without actually having to do too much extra work. So yeah, from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I will be back with I got a whole bunch of boxes over there, so I'm gonna be having some videos at some point. When they'll be out, I don't know. I'm not in a hurry, but we'll find out together. Later, people.